Here. Hello everybody! Welcome to a time change in history. Today we are traveling back to the Minoan civilization. Today we are here on Crete to study the ancient Minoans and their culture, art, and religion. Stay tuned for our interviews with incredible King Minos, Hercules, Theseus, the hero who slayed the Minotaur, the almighty Zeus, and the people from the Mycenaean civilization. The interviews will immediately be followed by a discussion of Minoan art and literature. But before all that, we'll give some background info on Crete and how life is like Greece. Hello, Alexio.
What are you doing on this fine summer day?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are your work conditions?
They're wonderful. I live in one of the palaces. I have a room where I sleep and a separate room where I work.
What do you do as your job?
That's a good question. I'm an artist. I paint many pots and my wife and children help me paint them.
How is your wife treated? Is she respected?
Oh yes, no doubt about that. Because she's treated better than me. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't be able to live such a luxurious life. Fortunately, one of the poor in Crete, without my brilliant wife, wouldn't be able to get this much printed tools. Money these days is very important.
Interesting. Usually in our other interviews, the vast majority of men are treated much better than women. Do you happen to know why women are treated better than the men in Minoan Crete?
Children are very important in Minoan Crete, and our rulers forget that women cannot have kids without men. To meet a husband have kids, since there's a long time period between becoming pregnant and having birth, most people forget. Women also get important roles in many religious ceremonies.
What rituals do you do?
We do bull dancing. Dance around a bull while they try to get us. Bull gets mad because he is partnered for more fun.
Thank you for answering our questions. I appreciate your willingness to tell us about your personal life. Have a good day. Let's head to the place to continue half an hour. To continue this episode and interview King Minos. We are here in ancient Crete. Today we are interviewing a very famous king. The king has been amazing, strong, and fearless leader with his amazing fighting techniques. So please welcome the amazing King Minos.
Hello everyone. I'm very glad to be here today. I can't wait to answer all your questions.
That's right. Today we will be accepting your calls so that any of you can ask Mr. Minos a question of your choice. But remember, our time is limited. Okay, we have our first caller, Sally Mustakas, calling all the way from Asia Minor, asks, is it true that Zeus is your father and that you are really part god?
Yes, it is true that the great Zeus, the god of lightning, is believed to be my father. My mother is a mortal woman named Europa, so I'm half god.
Okay, next caller. Tommy Virtue, calling from Egypt, asks, is it true that your wife had been the creator of the terrible Minotaur?
It's not something that I'm very comfortable talking about, but yes, it's true. My wife was the creator of Minotaur, thanks to Poseidon, who had made her fall in love with the bull.
We have one more call today with Mr. Minos. This call is from Mark, and he asks if it's true you gave the Minotaur 7 boys and 7 girls to eat every 9 years down in the labyrinth.
Yes, it's true that I feed children to the Minotaur. You see, the king of Athens had been afraid of war would break out, so instead of fighting, said if my army did not attack him for 9 years, he'd give me children to feed to the Minotaur. And it was a deal. Now my beast of Minotaur eats Athenians every 9 years to stop it from starving.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to be here and answer our questions, Mr. Minos.
You're welcome. Glad that I was able to help.
That's all the time we have today, folks, with Mr. Minos. Let's head to a commercial break, and when we get back, we will talk to Zeus.
Hello, and welcome back, you wonderful viewers, to a time change in history. Hope you liked the commercial. We just finished our interview with King Minos. And now we have a surprise guest that will be joining us. This is a god who has a personality that you don't want to get on the bad side of. Please welcome the powerful and mighty Zeus.
Hello, it's an honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you here.
Why, thank you.
So, first things first, how does it feel to be the son of one of the most dangerous and powerful forces in the universe, Kronos the Titan?
Well, it is astonishing such a great guy could come from such a terrible monster. I wouldn't even be here today if it hadn't been for my mother, who had hid me away from my father when I was born, for he was eating all my brothers and sisters.
But you ended up destroying him, right?
Of course I did. You're talking to the amazing Zeus, a same god who can summon billions of volts of electricity right in his hand.
Well, that's certainly impressive. Let's hand it over to Frederick Casparello.
Dearest greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is yours truly, Frederick Casparello, doing hero interviews on a time change in history. Today we have a special guest. Everyone, please welcome the incredible, hero, and powerful Hercules.
Hello, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Frederick?
I'm doing mighty fine. Hercules, it would be my honor if I could ask you some questions about the heroic deeds and all the sacrifices you have done in your lifetime.
I would be honored to answer the questions you ask.
Let's begin. How did it feel to kill your own children?
Well, Hera hated me, so she put madness in me, and I had no control of myself. But I still mourn over the loss of my beloved children.
I'm sorry for your loss. Let's get to the bright stuff. How thankful are you for the goddess Athena?
I'm very thankful for all the help. She guided me and taught me many wise words.
12 labors you completed were considered impossible, and yet you completed the tasks. How did you complete those tasks?
I had a lot of help. Athena guided me through the tasks. My nephew, Iolaus, was a great help. He helped me greatly on battling the Hydra. I also had some help from the local villagers, and I was lucky for my trainer Chiron for training me to be a hero. I'm very thankful for all those people.
Athena is a very smart and wise goddess. When you passed away, Athena carried you to Olympus where all the gods live, and you turned immortal and now you're a god. How does that feel?
I feel really thankful for what Athena did, and now I can enjoy my life for the moment.
That brings us to the end of this interview. Once again, let's give a round of applause to the heroic Hercules. Let's head to the studio and travel more in time. Zuko Benara to interview another mystery hero.
Good afternoon, boys and girls, women and men. It is yours truly, Azuko Bernaro, reporter for the show doing hero interviews on a time change in history. And today we have a special guest. Please welcome the superior, incredible, and powerful Theseus.
Hello, my fans. How are you guys doing today?
Theseus, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite fine.
You ended one of the most terrible monsters' life, the Minotaur. When you volunteered, what went through your mind when that happened?
I don't like to be given King Midas' wife. Remember Poseidon's behavior making King Midas' wife fall in love with the bull. Sacrificing innocent lives was the most horrendous part. Just wanted to end that.
Theseus, you are a great man. Princess Aradon helped you and gave you lots of good advice. She gave you a ball of yarn and a sword to kill the Minotaur, and you guys had really liked each other. How do you think about her?
I really liked her. She treated me very well. She was a kind woman.
For the last question, how did it feel to kill the Minotaur?
Good, but I had a lot of help. The Minotaur was powerful with the dangerous horns on the bull's head. Use his horns to kill him with my sword. But I felt that the best is that I saved all those people who could have been sacrificed.
Well, that last question leads us to the end of the show. Thank you, Theseus, for spending your whole time with us. Everyone, let's show our thanks for Theseus.
Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the show.
To a time change in history. Now we are going to travel back to the ancient time of the Mycenaean civilization. Let's go to the early years of the civilization. Today I am here on the island of Crete at the new Mycenaean civilization. Here we have a metal worker who is making weapons from bronze. I am here to ask you a few questions about your job. What materials do you use to make tools and weapons, and what types of weapons and tools do you use?
There are many different types of tools and weapons that I have to make. Come on over to sit and I can tell you about them. For the soldiers, I will make them daggers and swords to battle with, and shields in the shape of figure eights with a wooden frame. The shields are made to defend themselves. Also, all of the soldiers are going into battle have bronze armor.
Well, that makes sense since it's the Bronze Age.
Flourished in the late Bronze Age between 1500 and 1100 BC. The Mycenaeans also became known for producing weapons, jewelry, and many other materials when they started to make these artifacts of important raw materials.
Did you make any other tools that were not used in the military?
Yes, for hunters, I will make spears and bows. Most people will get tools covered with elaborately decorated handles made of gold, ivory, bone, and stone. To have around the house for knives or tools just in case of an attack. That's why I mostly make, and the majority is made from raw bronze or other raw material.
Thank you so much for donating your time to this broadcast. I am going to let you get back to work. Thanks. I would like to ask you a few questions on the government of the Mycenaeans.
Sure, I'm an expert on the government in this civilization. What would you like to know?
I was wondering what type of government you have and who rules each city-state.
We have an upheld monarchy government. There are kings of each city-state, and the power will be succeeded by their sons, the princes. If the king has no son, that would mean that the top military advisors would battle to become the new monarch. Around the city-state, there are heavily armored soldiers who enforce rules. Everyone has to pay taxes to the king. Any other questions?
In each city-state, they had a fortified palace that was surrounded by massive defensive walls.
Yes, I have one more. How do you get all your resources since everyone lives on such a small island? Do you trade with anyone nearby you?
When we first came to the island, we had to find a solution for the minimum amount of resources. We started to have to look elsewhere for the resources we needed to survive. We became traders. The civilization became very wealthy from becoming traders. It was a smart choice made.
Mycenaeans also imported raw materials to farm easier and export artifacts.
Thanks. I really appreciate you telling us about the government and trading.
No problem. I very much enjoyed talking about the government and trading. I better be getting home. I wasn't supposed to be out for that long.
Let's head back to the studio. And shall we flip forward in time and go back to 2016? Yes, we shall. Talk about the Trojan War. Which happened sometime near the 13th century. It was a conflict between the Mycenaeans and the people of Troy. The war shaped the rest of the Greek culture to the 21st century. The conflict lasted 10 years, but the war only lasted 53 days. The smart Mycenaeans built a large wooden horse called the Trojan horse that was delivered to the city of Troy, in which many strong, brave soldiers hid so that they could escape and attack the city. But it wasn't strong enough. The people of Troy ended up destroying the Mycenaeans.
After their loss, they were a long run for food, had very poor harvests. Bad harvests affected their trade, and as agricultural produce was exported, used to pay ration, there was not enough for the rest of the people.
This resulted in the whole economic system and their way of life to be threatened. The trade slowed and the sea people, Egyptians, destroyed the people. The Asia Minor and sea people went around the Mediterranean Sea, taking over new land, but never came close to Greece. The Mycenaeans were lucky with this one.
The Dorians had just took over Cyprus and were very strong. Came and defeated them. Mycenaean cities were abandoned because of earthquakes, others destroyed by the Dorians. Their world disintegrated around 1200 BC.
I hope you learned a lot on the Mycenaean civilization. Everyone, welcome back, Alexia.
Thank you.
Let's get started right away. Alexio, right when I got into the city, I saw lion heads on the gates.
It's just a hint of our time. In reality, if you went inside one of the shops, you would see everything there was elaborately decorated. Some with characters from our myths, and others of animals and lions.
Wow, that is so cool. What about the wall paintings? What were you thinking about when you created those everlasting wonders?
It's to honor the gods, to show future generations how we live, and what we saw and loved.
What else did you decorate? Did you decorate your armor, storage bin, or did you just stop there?
No way, we paint everything, from our armor and weapons to storage bins. Not a single thing was lame and boring.
What did you use to paint? Plants, metals, or anything else?
We used metals like gold and silver mixed with different plants.
Were you limited to just 3 or 4 colors?
We used every color shade imaginable.
Did you write everything down? All your stories?
Well, the first many generations did, but generally just some song. Some people were down, destroyed, will be forgotten for the rest of eternity.
How did you bury your rulers? Did you just bury them undecorated, or did you somehow decorate them?
Not everyone did this, but some leaders and kings were buried with the gold mask over their face.
What language did you write your early stories in?
We wrote our stories in Linear A, which is based on Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Was it very complicated?
It was really complicated.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of A Time Change in History. I hope you have learned a lot on the Mycenaean and Minoan civilization. I can't wait to see you next time. I wonder where are we going next?